Evening, everybody, and welcome to an Oakland esports stream. We are back. It is playoff season, and we are starting off our playoff run with NACE as Smash Bros. A takes on Cleveland State University.
Yeah, Oakland University Smash, Cleveland State. This is a Horizon League matchup here, which is pretty awesome. One of the first that we've seen all season because in our normal conference play, we are playing against D1 schools, but none of the Horizon League schools are in that specific conference.
Yeah.
So this will be a little bit telling. Cleveland State, from what I've seen, is the best of the other Horizon League schools as far as Smash Brothers. But there are notable other schools in the Horizon League. And one day, we will have a Horizon League esports league, and we'll play just the Horizon League schools.
It'll be everything. It'll be everything these schools could dream of.
Everything I've been dreaming of for a while. The Horizon League Championship. And I'm just so ready to take it down in every game title every time.
Yeah.
When we go and, we're under athletics here at Oakland and we see a lot of the traditional sports going on. We hear a lot about them winning the Horizon League Championship, which is a huge accomplishment, but I just want to show them we're up there in esports as well. So
definitely.
Looks like we are in the game.
Yeah, we're definitely into the game right now, and it does seem like already NAD79 has taken a whole stock off of Arctic's Rob with a one of his patented falling up airs into forward air, getting that Mario spike.
NAD Lucas, the rising star,
and he off the top.
What?
Oh my gosh, Lucas is just NAD. He's just off to a commanding start here in this best of 3 for the playoffs. Now, what's cool is that Oakland coming into this playoffs as the 5th seed overall. There's a lot of debate about who should be the 4 or 5 seed between Oakland and Akron. Both schools so close in terms of skill and over the history of both programs. But Oakland coming in as the 5, Akron coming in as the 4. But in terms of bracket, they'll play each other eventually. But
right, so
Cleveland State did finish their whole series or their whole regular season undefeated. So Oakland is looking to they're looking to just put a halt to their season, saying, you know what, your only loss is the one that sends you packing in the playoffs.
That was some Mario gameplay right there.
I
love seeing that. And just from the history of the Oakland Smash team, we've seen a lot of Hawk, which is the MSU Rob player.
Yep.
We've seen plenty of him, and so I always hate to see Rob on my
It's a scary character for us. It's
very scary. The character just never dies. And so to see Lucas or NAD take him down pretty handedly there, keeping 2 stocks, is great. That's a great start. Now remember, this is a best of 3 series.
Yep.
And it's a 4-person crew battle, so even taking one good set like that really doesn't change the narrative that much. I mean, we have to get a few players in to really feel confident about the match.
But, having a 2-stock advantage this early on is always really good. Whatever can kind of help build that snowball up, which is always something you want in a crew battle. Yeah. And I know that the players were saying that this Rob player is probably the second best player that's on the Cleveland State roster behind Colonies, who is a formerly ranked Ohio player. I believe at his peak, Colin was about top 10 in Ohio.
Okay.
So very good player, but they're probably keeping him for an anchor position here. And it looks like they are sending in a Mii brawler by the name of Dreamless. Oh my gosh, he's using the pig skin from Minecraft. That is so funny, actually.
That skin is just terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. Did Lucas lose 2 stocks there? No, we're doing a reset.
It looks like they were supposed to go to
Small battlefield. Yeah, that is
so
the
they
wrong
went to the wrong.
stage,
They went to the wrong biplat.
And that's just the ugliest skin I've seen in the game so far.
That's honestly one of the most cursed but amazing. Somebody paid. That means that they paid a little bit of they paid $2 for that skin.
Oh, wow. You know what happens when you pay money for skins? It makes you better at the game.
It's true. It's the buff.
Right. So I guess we'll see if that pays off and if he decides to change his skin in between games. Doubtful, but I'm hopeful at the same time that he changes into the legitimate Mii brawler. No,
this is actually the true Mii brawler skin. Yeah, NAD will be dropping 1 stock here, and we should this is actually, I believe I've heard Lucas say in in past, this matchup, Mario versus Meat Brawler, is a little bit of a tough one just because Meat Brawler has some very cheeky, quick and early kill options online that can be really easily abused. Coming off from that like up tilt, up air into the up B, which is really potent at killing super early. So right there, almost got it, but Lucas just DI'd out enough to make sure he couldn't get the couldn't lose the stock.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see this kind of gameplay too, because Meat Brawler is a little bit of a mashup of a lot of different characters in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He looks a lot like Mario.
Right, and he kind of, at least it seems, that he plays a little bit like Mario too, kind of aerials, hitting him in the air and trying to killing him up on stage. And so it's kind of an interesting battle where they're both trying to do similar things.
Oh, almost try. Oh, okay. Oh, he was trying to get that intangible up smash there to get the kill, but did not get it. Oh, but the down throw into RAR back air secures the kill, reading the DI in by Dreamless. So this is putting Oakland at a good spot. Lucas being able to get one stock off, which is still putting in a little bit of that little bit extra credit, just what you want to try and keep this Golden Grizzly squad ahead. Every stock matters in these crew battles.
The other key to a crew battle, if it's a really close one, the key to winning it is taking the first character down, because then you're automatically putting the other team on the back end where they have to be using their players, and then you constantly have the counter pick.
It's the kill early too. Now that is a total of 5 stocks taken for Nad. So he's definitely, like you said, putting Cleveland State really into a position where they have to kind of maybe play a player like Colonies out earlier than they anticipated. But you know what? Dreamless cleans up that stock, gets the up E, gets that it's the uppercut, and it just gets it off the top. And you know, Oakland now coming in with a second player, but this person who's coming in from the Oakland team gets a 2 stock advantage, so they get to really kind of just force this Cleveland State to really show their hand to try and amount to some type of comeback really fast.
Well, and there's a good chance, too, to come in and take that first stock for free, you know, because it doesn't matter how much percent that character comes in. As long as our player takes that first stock first, it doesn't matter. They're back to free. So that's where, I mean, God, a great start to a series like this just makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
When we've had so many challenging opponents recently where we've been constantly on the back foot.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking about the CECC weekend where all of the games went to series, game 3, game 3, game 3.
It was always a game 1 loss.
Yeah, and we were always on the back foot to start the series. And even when we won the series, we just had to claw our way back into it. So I'm feeling much better about this now, and a great start there from Lucas, and we'll have to see how the rest of the team does. And it's certainly not going to be Mario going in.
No,
again
that would be crazy if we somehow use Monster Reborn and got to revive a player and have him go in again.
I think that's banned now, or is it just one?
I actually think you're allowed to use one.
Just one copy.
But it's not even like good anymore.
Restricted. It's not?
It's like there's just so much
Power
stuff
creep.
that is there's the power creep of Yu-Gi-Oh is just crazy enough where Monster Reborn and like Dark Hole just not even good, even though they're so good.
Oh my god.
Like in theory these cards are amazing, but whatever. I don't play enough Yu-Gi-Oh, but from what I've seen,
I just have so much nostalgia for it that it has to still be so good.
But it looks like from the Oakland squad we're getting Trisket coming in.
Now that's a Pac-Man character.
That
Pretty
is
cool. Trisket.
One of the best Pac-Man in all of Collegiate Smash.
That's true. And he's well known for having some unexpected cheeky kills.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. So many forward smashes.
One of my favorite, and I can't really describe the combo too much, but when you get the hydrant and he like throws the key into the hydrant and it just blasts off incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Or the apple, you know, any of them. But
oh my gosh, he just got the kill. Oh,
that was
the
a call
Trisket.
out there.
That was a classic Trisket forward smash too.
Oh my goodness!
I thought he was just gonna go for an up smash. Oh, delay.
It's an interesting hitbox there. I thought for sure it's gonna get taken down.
Honestly, what's crazy about this right now, it looks like Triscuit's just kind of playing with his food. And he threw a fruit. He actually threw the melon. So he was playing with his food. And as a 3-stock, now when you are coming in in this position, right, you're Triscuit. You come in, you have 3 stocks, and Dreamless you see is 1 stock. Now you just take that, you get that first stock, you don't even lose the stock. When you don't even take that much percent, it's kind of like hit the mindset a little bit of that NBA team where you're like, oh God, this dude, we couldn't even touch him.
Yeah, it's a huge confidence boost, and with just 1 stock as the sample size for this train of thought that you're pulling up here, a lot of teams don't have the hindsight to go, oh, that's just 1 stock where that happened. It's a lot of times it's just like, oh, this guy's a monster.
Yeah,
we're in trouble now. He's an animal.
Yeah, especially when you look at it where now Oakland only has lost 3 stocks. We're at 9 out of 12 stocks, so we have 3 full players left. Cleveland now coming in 6 stocks left. They're halfway through.
Right. They have to pull something out, and they have to have basically 2 incredible sets, if you want to think about it that way, to come back into this and be even or a little bit ahead. Because even just 1 good match doesn't do enough unless they get a full 3 stock, which is kind of ridiculous.
And it does look like from the Cleveland State side, we are seeing colonies come in, and we are looks like Pokemon Stadium 2 is the stage choice. So, yeah, we're going to see the big hitter coming out for Cleveland State with colonies. A really good youngling player, so you're going to be seeing a lot of boomerangs, bombs, arrows. Colin has always been a player who focuses on crisp movement and interactions to chain hits together and just try and secure early kills.
Interesting. Okay, it'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
A reminder: this is NACE Round 1 playoffs. That's top 16 in the country in the national bracket.
Yeah.
Which is an achievement on its own. But frankly, for our Smash team, we have higher hopes in that, and we'd hope to push even further, top 8, top 4, maybe top 2, maybe top 1,
That's right.
and take a national championship for the first time in program history. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I want to take down Cleveland State.
Exactly. And, Cleveland State, definitely one of these schools this is their first time in NACE, and this, for the first year that they're in the one of the biggest leagues for all of collegiate esports, they find themselves sitting in playoffs, so they are hungry to prove themselves as this up-and-coming, really strong school. And led by Colin, who's arguably their strongest player, they're definitely looking to make an impact here. Right away, you see Colonies utilizing all of the little arsenal that Younglink has to make sure that Triscuit can't run away and charge up his fruit and set up his zoning game.
Yeah, this would be the kind of character I would never want to play in Smash Brothers. Just so annoying to stay at arm's length. And now Triscuit has tools to hit him from a range and kind of maybe even set up the Hydra as a barrier. But melee characters,
big forward smash there, kid. Honestly, that one probably caught Colonies a little off guard.
Yeah, for sure. Takes him kind of out of nowhere there, but 90% for Triscuit. We'll have to see if he can hang on to that and get more damage. Going for damage
oh my gosh,
here.
The triple pivot grab into up throw up air, doing so much damage. We are seeing honestly.
Just like that, Toon Link's at 70%.
Yeah, honestly, he is roughly around kill percent. And that is just like what you get. The bell into forward smash. We are looking like potentially on series wrap, but Colonies tries to get something. That up B, not going to be enough. Triscuit going all the way down, but he's going to be able to recover. It's Pac-Man. Never need to worry.
Wow, I think you called that he was kill percent as he was securing the kill, which is pretty incredible. So let's have to see if Triscuit can hang on to this stock here. It's over for game 1. I'm just calling it. But we'll just have to see how that goes. And, after that,
all right,
he loses 1 there. But, after this, it might be time for Cleveland State to really start thinking, how can we get back into this game?
Definitely. 70% on the board, 81 now. It's looking a little rough if you're Cleveland State. How do you come back? And Pac-Man is one of those characters, especially if you are really not in general, Pac-Man is one of those characters that's really difficult to make a comeback on just because of his defense-oriented gameplay that can lead into really just straight up outboxing you in the up-close battle.
And he doesn't have to approach here.
No.
You know, he can kind of camp out, so.
And that is one of those really cheeky early kills that I spoke about when we learned that Colonies was coming in. Colonies so good at finding those very nice up Bs from Young Link to get the kill off the side.
Very well executed there, the entire combo, and reading how Trisket was going to, try and dodge it, basically. 34% for Trisket, 100% for Young Link. We'll have to see if Trisket can secure this. Ooh. Now, if you were to rank the fruits for Pac-Man, which one would you say is the worst and which one is the best? No, it doesn't have to be
realistically,
the fruits, but all of his tools in his tool belt.
The worst one, honestly, is probably Melon.
Okay.
The best is probably the Bell, just because of the stun into a kill setup.
Right.
Then the Key.
The Key.
So
much.
The Strawberry, actually, the Strawberry might be the worst or second worst. It's just your average projectile.
Yeah, I don't see Trisket going for the Strawberry very often.
No, not at all. The Cherry has a lot of place just because of its low angle. You throw it and it just instantly goes on the ground and bounces. So people use that. It's like Cherry, instantly throw it to use it as an edge guard attempt.
Okay, to just set up an area where you can't approach.
Yep.
For a little bit of time.
And there's been times where we've seen Trisket throw the cherries out, and it takes a kill.
Sometimes it just gets them. And that's the nice part about having those kind of tools in your tool belt, And that's why Ganondorf just not a top-tier character.
The only thing he's got in his tool belt is just a sword that he only uses for smash attacks.
If somebody taught him proper nutrition and he brought fruit, he'd be an animal, and nobody'd be able to stop him.
It would be tough. Fruit doesn't really grow in the Gerudo Desert.
Something. Some nutritious would have to come up with some kind of diet that he could bring and then attack his enemies with.
Ganondorf,
but right now, he just starves himself.
I think Ganon would just eat a protein-based only diet.
Yeah,
you've seen it. Ganondorf, he's kind of shredded.
He's shredded, but that doesn't do anything if you can't reach your opponent. You can have this big sword and these big muscles, but if your opponent's just going to stand over there and shoot you with a bow,
what do you do?
It's not going to do much for you. So if I was Ganon, I'd be going back and trying to pick up some new skills. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's not who I am.
No. If you want the just tried and true, get right into it.
So,
and it looks like we're going to be getting right into this last player coming in from Cleveland State. We got Ruby coming in on Snake. This was one of the other players that the Smash team was talking about, how this guy does attend a lot of local events over in the Northeast Ohio region.
Right.
So it makes sense that Rob would know about it. It's a Snake player from the Midwest. Right. They all know each other, a little collective hive mind together, figuring out the best way to play the character.
It's a really fun aspect of collegiate Smash Brothers or Smash Brothers in general, where you have these region-based competitions where players from a certain area, where for like League of Legends or Overwatch or whatever, it doesn't actually matter what state you're from. You just know players who are around your rank.
Yeah.
But to be able to say, like, oh, we're playing this team from Northeast Ohio, and then you see a lot of players you already know, and there's something cool about that.
Because these players are most likely playing each other beyond just the competition in college.
That's right.
There's a chance they'd be seeing each other at some regional event that's happening in like a random city somewhere that's in the Midwest. They could be going down to like Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it's like, oh, hey, look at that. It's the Cleveland State guys. They decided to come out here. And there's not even a college event going on.
Smash Brothers, a very unique game on the college esports circuit. I'm a big fan of it at this point.
Ruby playing very slow and calculate. Knows he's got 3 stocks to play with. Is willing to trade much percent as he can.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous, though. He really needs to take the stock from Trisket and not die. It's just, there's no choice at this point.
Oh, the shoe shiner.
Yeah, at this point.
First kill. And that's rough for Ruby, right? You were saying it's like you want to get that stock without losing your own. And for Snake, right? Snake is, when Snake's at a higher percent, right? He gets that, what's called like that rage knockback bonus. So Snake's moves, which already have a lot of knockback, get just an earlier boost at kill ability, just for him having at a being at a higher percent.
Right. Yeah, at
Right
this
now,
point, if you're Cleveland State, took that down. That's good.
Boom. We got the C4 catching him off guard, and Ruby drops one stock, but, brings Oakland down to that halfway point.
I've seen these comebacks happen before, so I'm not counting them out, but this is a very tough situation. Ruvy's hands will be sweaty, knees weak.
Arms possibly heavy.
Arms are heavy. No doubt about it.
Hopefully he did not have mom spaghetti earlier.
No, because that wouldn't be sitting well.
Could
just
be on the
about
sweater
now,
already.
So.
Could be on that sweater.
So if you're Cleveland State, let's assume that Snake doesn't take 6 stocks off of us at this point. What's your strategy for maybe changing up who you blind in first? I mean, do you put your best foot forward? Do you need that anchor still?
I think they are smart to keep Ruby as their anchor, and Colonies probably as that number 3 pick. I think you have to use characters like Snake, like Young Link, as these counterpick matchups. You can't just blind them in. And I don't think they would ever blind Colonies in because of just how much value he brings to the team on the Cleveland State side. I think
in specific matchups or just in general, you don't want to blind
specific matchups and just player strength, right? Like Colonies is the best chance that's on the Cleveland State side to take a player like Tony, like Rob, out of the game. Yeah. So you need to make sure he's there. And looking into game 2, you probably might see that they start, like Ruby might become their starter. Or realistically, they start with the Meat Brawler player. Just to try and get these small advantages early on that forces Oakland to show their hand.
All right, now we have Avian on Min coming in, trying to clean up Snake. He's got his 3 stocks to just 2. We do have a player behind him in case he doesn't take him down, but I know Pablo pretty well. Avian wants to win this. He doesn't want to wait and rely on the other player.
Avian, before switching full-time into Min, was a Snake player when he first started playing Smash Brothers. When we brought him on board to the Oakland University team, he was primarily a Snake player with a Min secondary.
Yeah.
And over time, the Min became such a more useful tool, and it's been something that's accelerated him as a player to grow as a player, become a top 15 in Michigan level player. And with that knowledge of how to play Snake, having played many sets against Rob, being a former player of Snake himself, still uses Snake on occasion, this is just kind of a walk in the park.
Easier to read. He knows what Snake wants to be doing in each scenario, and I'm sure he's much better at tracking grenades and C4 than the average player. So taking 1 stock already, losing 1 himself, so fair enough. Snake at 70%. He's gonna need to pull something out at this point because it's desperation time.
And realistically, if that does not go, that kills Megawatt. Honestly, that was a borderline fully charged Megawatt that just got that kill.
Was that guaranteed or was that?
He read the roll in. He definitely was reading the roll. He was reading some type of defensive option that was going to guarantee him getting that forward smash.
Just didn't know if it was bad DI or not. I like to call that out as a Smash
expert. I just don't think so.
No, okay.
Megawatt being one of Min's strongest attacks in general. It's gonna kill anybody from center stage.
Yeah, it's just incredible. You're all the way. I mean, you're center stage, but you're on that right side of the stage. You're blasting them all the way to the left. Not even that high percentage. But
no.
Wow, powerful stuff there. Oakland making a statement in game 1, taking it down, keeping 4 stocks.
Pretty good.
So,
they kept
5 stocks?
5 stocks, yeah.
Okay.
Because what I was going to say before, Pablo kind of just cleaned up shop, that when you have your the opposing schools down to just 1 stock left, you kind of get to play a little bit more lackadaisical. You can kind of just play for damage. Play for damage because it does not matter how many stocks you lose because all you need is 1 good hit, right? And that player he has to trade his 1 stock with your 3 left. So realistically, you are just in for a good spot. And it looks like there's not even going to be a whole lot of downtime. I think we're just getting right into potentially game number 2. They are starting Ruby, and it looks like we are bringing in Poison Jam for game number 2. Not even
Poison Jam.
Not even enough time to cut to a quick break.
No, can't analyze what happened at all. And, you know, Cleveland State, I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea of not checking out what happened and making adjustments. So I think they should have made some adjustments and maybe talked about what is happening, but they decided to put in Snake, and we're seeing the results here. And Poison Jam on Kazuya does have Snake experience. He's played plenty against Rob on our team, and also
he has a lot of tournament sets over Rob too. It's not just the practice from playing together twice a week here in the Grizz Den. In ranked competition inside the state, Poison Jam has numerous sets all over Rob, who is a top 3 player in Michigan.
Right, he's a Snake killer. And so this will be interesting to see. Rage drive, but now he goes away, down to 2 stocks each at this point.
Man, there's just so much happening. Oh, gets the kick going into a carries position.
Kazuya, one of my favorite characters to watch. A little bit of a call out.
Oh.
Talk about a call out. That was
crazy
there.
Because Ruby had actually put the down B, the C4, onto Amon. It was stuck to his leg. And I'm not too sure, but
it just sent him directly toward the Snake, and so he finished him off. That seems unlucky. I don't know what to say about that. Now, just from an aesthetic point of view, having Kazuya be able to kick grenades back towards Snake is hilarious.
And they become so much stronger, too.
Right.
The multiplier is a little crazy. But, you know, Ruby, keeping it really close. It seems like every time that Poison Jam takes a stock, Ruby is there instantly with a response to get the kill of his own.
So when there's a live-action Smash Brothers movie that comes out, we need to see the Kazuya versus Snake matchup come. I say Henry Cavill should play Kazuya, but I'm not sure who should play Snake. A younger Liam Neeson, I think, would be great.
That'd be funny. I don't know about
Henry Cavill. No, he's too buff.
I don't think you whitewash Kazuya.
Okay, you tell me who it should be. Then I apologize.
I don't know.
Well, that's not much of an improvement over Henry Cavill, then, is it?
But you know what? A rage drive is going to be improving the situation. Now Oakland takes the first player down from Cleveland State here in game number 1.
What's nice is now not only do we know that Poison Jam wins and keeps the stock, but now we know the script for the movie, and so Kazuya keeps a stock and lives and, and beats up Snake.
You can't ever. Kazuya puts people down into the volcanoes by dropping them over the cliff. He's never the one that gets put over the cliff into the volcano.
That's right, yeah. The script has been written, so it's set. Any Hollywood movie producers out there, when you go to make that movie, just let me know. We'll take a small cut and we'll sell you the script. It'd be interesting to see who Cleveland State sends in now. So you're Cleveland State. Game 1 didn't go your way. No. Now it's a best of 3 in a crew battle. That happens quite often.
Yeah.
There's a lot of close matchups between schools that we have that are really talented schools. We smash them game 1, they smash us game 2. It just happens. Because you come in with just 3 stocks. There's no best of 3, within each matchup. So there's high variance. So, it can be a little bit upsetting to have a rough game 1, but you really have to have the mindset of, all right, guys, we got to reset. We can come back into this. We can take it down. I don't know if that's the start they wanted to have.
No.
Having Snake come in and lose. Now, he took 2, but that's one of their stronger players, so that's got to be a little bit scary as well.
So they're sending in Dreamless. So this was the player who was using the Meat Brawler in game number 1. Switching into Pirate Mithra, looking for a character that's a little bit more agile, has a little bit of better tools, a little bit more what we call like privilege for characters.
It's got to be a better matchup into Kazuya too. You know, just didn't feel comfortable with the brawler. So we'll see. Cleveland State looking to take down. Oh my goodness. Take down the stock remaining on Poison Jam. If they can secure this, they can get back to even. That'll put them in a good spot.
Poison Jam just running rampant on Dreamless's first stock, trying to keep that name for Dreamless true.
Yeah, what a scary character to play against, Kazuya. He just does so much damage, so much knockback, and he just needs to hit you once or twice, and it's just 60% just like that.
And it really looks like Poison Jam is starting to kind of warm up a little bit, right? Didn't get to play in that game number 1. And here now in game number 2, he goes right in. And he didn't have a whole lot of time. He kind of calls that out with the forward smash with, honestly, with a little bit of authority.
Yeah, read him like a book there. It's pretty incredible, and that's got to feel good for the Cleveland State team to just be able to get a little bit back and feel like they're in the game again, because if Poison Jam kept going, it's scary. How do you
stop
game 2.
A player? Like, how do you stop a character like Kazuya with momentum?
And a player like Poison Jam.
Yeah.
So talented.
Chad, that was also like that was a question for the class. How do you stop a character like Kazuya when they have momentum? It feels like something that is impossible at times.
Ganondorf. It's the only way. Sure. It must be the Ganondorf.
It's got to be Ganondorf.
Although in my experience, it just never works out, but I'm sure that's not my fault.
And it does look like on the Oakland side, we're seeing Captain Rob come in.
Captain Rob, Team Captain Rob. The Oakland Smash team is an interesting team out of all of our teams because they are the youngest team by far. Yeah. Poison Jam is a senior, Trisket is a junior, but everybody else on the roster is a sophomore or a freshman. And in fact, we have 5 sophomore players on the team. So most of our team is sophomore.
Underclassmen.
Very young team, but talented there, and it's exciting for me as a coach because we have so many more years with these players outside of Poison Jam. Unfortunately, we'll graduate soon.
One more semester, one last hurrah down in Texas.
Just bittersweet for me because you just hate to see them go, but you're so happy that they graduated, you know, for them as a person. So back into the game here, Cleveland State. It's go time. I mean, they have to pull something out, and they really have to take charge of this series because it just hasn't gone their way so far.
No. We are going to Small Battlefield, not Pokemon Stadium 2.
Smattlefield, if you will.
No one has ever actually wanted to call it that ever.
I think that's the technical term, is Smattlefield. And every time I say that, I see all of my players cringe.
It's
and that's
just
why
awful.
I keep saying
it's like the dad joke you actually
you get angry.
Have to hear.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna hear a lot of them, so get used to it. What was the Pyramithra name? Aether?
Aegis.
Aegis. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's the fan name. I think it has something to actually do with the game. Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah. I had some players while we were out traveling to Riptide explain that to me, and that was kind of interesting. It's always so fun to hear about each of the characters in all the games because each of these games have so many characters except for Rocket League, which just has a few different cars.
Yeah, just a few. The cars are characters.
Yeah, but nobody has. I mean, nobody cares about the lore about.
The only character with lore is just Lightning McQueen, right?
Right. Or like the Cybertruck has lore. You know, the bulletproof windows that can't handle a stone.
Ooh, okay. Down throw into the grenade, giving the free up air for good damage. Okay, but no, Dreamless really doing quite well here.
That's right.
Almost getting an extra stock here. Ooh.
Dreamless looking great so far, and it's a little bit dicey, but Rob able to keep him off stage. Let's see if he can edge guard effectively. Just keep center stage and just try and get a little bit more damage because he is at kill percentage. They both seem to be.
Definitely is. Trying to escapes the Nikita missile. Down throw probably. Oh, back throw gonna try and almost get the kill. But at this point, if Snake gets a down throw, it's going to be a free kill. Snake's down throw is a property. The higher the percent, the longer it takes a character to be able to actually have their acting frame begin again. So Snake gets to kind of he just snaps the neck, put them to sleep, and gets an up tilt to kill.
You know, I think that's something that I don't think I've ever seen in a game like League of Legends. I don't think there's any crowd control in the game
that
scales with, let's say, lower health percentage. And I think that's an interesting mechanic to the game that Riot Games should look into. Now, I know they don't have a lot of resources. It's a small indie company, but it'd be interesting to see if they did implement that, because they've copied everything else from every other game, so why not? 2 stocks to 1 stock here. Rob trying to finish it out and keep the lead for Oakland.
Oh, gets that Nikita missile on the back of the skull, sending Dreamless, honestly, waking him up, really.
Dreamless never had dreams, and so he put him to sleep.
Put him to sleep.
Now
Gave him nightmares, actually.
Now he can dream, but can he really rest? No.
And it does look right away, this Cleveland State team already had their counter pick on lock before the result screen finished. There's a Colonies, Young Link.
Yeah, what I scouted Cleveland State before this matchup, and what I found is that they're the opposite of Northwood, and so they're just ready to go whenever you ask them.
Really are ready to just get things moving. Maybe Cleveland State's like, well, we also have to play an NECC playoffs tonight, so
they want to be able to make both games, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Now, for Northwood at the time, they didn't have to worry about that, so no big deal. Moving on to something else.
Anyway, we're going to PS2 here for the counter pick from Colonies. This should be, I think, a little bit closer of a game. Colonies, back in many moons ago, was living in a Smash house where a lot of top-level Smash players were all living together. And he had some of the best Snake practice while living in that house.
Wow.
So this should be a very good matchup for Colonies to kind of accelerate and start getting that ball rolling into the side for back onto the side for Cleveland State here.
Oshori has all the lore,
all what's crazy is that so I've known Colonies for probably almost 10 years now, actually. Wow. I remember when he was just a high school freshman entering the Northeast Ohio scene and coming to a lot of my tournaments back in the day.
Wow, incredible! Nice to see him on a college esports team now, and a strong team like Cleveland State. So that's cool to see that kind of evolution come through.
Oh, see, look at that. That's just one of those matchup things where it's Colonies knows that, all right, Snakes will always kind of they get hit, they will respond like this. So here's how I can find a quick little opening. Gets that forward air kill. Colonies looking pretty good here in the this first the whiffed grab. Not what you want to see. When you were just running so hot.
Colonies would have liked to have kept that momentum going and get some extra percentage onto the Snake before losing his stock. And at this point, it's almost even. 2 stocks for Young Link and 1 for Snake. So this is an opportunity for Cleveland State to close this out cleanly and get close to even.
Just both of these characters throwing their entire arsenal of weapons at each other.
Yeah, Young Link just throwing some fire arrows out, and notably, fire arrows more effective than traditional arrows. Not only do they hurt, but then they burn a little bit too. So,
the fact is they're on fire.
Right.
It costs extra resources in most games to make a fire arrow.
Right. To be honest, historically, I don't know if it would really be practical to take a fire arrow and have that kind of mobility that Young Link has. I think fire archers would be more stable and they wouldn't really move, so they could keep their loading. But you know what? Who are we to critique Smash's realism?
Oh man, that down tilt into up air almost secured the stock there for Colonies.
150% is a scary, scary spot for Rob to be in. He does not want to lose his stock. Keeping it would put Oakland in a great position to close out the series. See if he can do it. Colony seems to have the read on the matchup, as you had mentioned. 170%. He is any hit will take him down.
That's so cheeky. That was some cheeky gameplay there by Rob. Knowing that the grenade would set up enough knockback just to put him up right above him for a free up air. Actually, that's just
incredible.
That's true character knowledge.
Character knowledge. It's incredible. Great to see. As I said, Rob keeps a stock. And so now we're talking 7-3. 7 stocks Oakland.
Yep.
3 for Cleveland State. And we've got some of their stronger players out of the way at this point. So Cleveland State, they're going to have to pull something out and really dig deep to make something happen, because this is scary. This is their playoff run on the line.
Yeah,
a loss
not
here
a double
ends,
elimination bracket.
That's right. A loss here ends the run. And so, this is the spirit of competition right here, and this is where sometimes players find something deep down that they haven't found before. I've seen it occasionally over the last few years, and it's incredible when you do see it. In this case, I don't want to see it. But we'll see if Cleveland State can pull it off. And a Rob. Now, how does this matchup go, Rob Snake?
I think historically it's Rob favored.
Okay.
And just in personal matchups, I think Rob is favored versus the Golden Grizzlies. Grizzly Bears might not be able to beat robots.
Right. Okay. I understand that.
Except we're starting to learn. We are starting to learn. He took a lot of beatings from Michigan State's Hawk, but we're starting to get there.
Yeah. Those were, strong team, but dark times really whenever we had to face that team. So I'm glad that that's not really the case anymore. I feel it's much more competitive nowadays.
Wow, right away, Rob doing incredible here in the first opening stock.
Yeah, 78, 100% on Rob. Now, Rob is a little bit difficult to kill. He is heavy. We'll see how that goes.
It's that first stock. Robbie clutching up and really setting Oakland up for a fantastic start here in this last potential game of the series. 46% unanswered by Arctic. Cleveland State, honestly, it feels like they're kind of crumbling a little bit.
Yeah, he cannot lose another stock at this point. Arctic needs to make something happen.
Whoa, almost got that cheeky down there through the stage.
That's my
Stairmaster from Snake, sending Rob off stage into a potential Nikita kill. 2 Nikita kills secured. Arctic down to his last stock. Rob still on the verge of hitting a 3-stock over 3-stock here over Arctic.
Yeah, not where you want to be if you're Cleveland State. Starting to lose faith a little bit, because even taking this stock off the Snake really doesn't do that much for you. You'd be left with 1 against 6. But we'll have to see what Arctic can pull out here.
Oh my gosh, I thought Arctic was going to kind of go out there and chase Rob's Snake just a little bit more. Oh my gosh, whip the up tilt. But both players kind of whipping their kill moves there. No.
Can't make it happen.
Couldn't make it. It was a little bit too far off stage, and he could not. Snakes can blow themselves up with their projectiles, like their down beat, and they can blow it up and kind of save themselves. Rob was just at too high of a percent where he would
just die.
He would have killed himself.
Yeah.
So he tried.
Tried to get back, couldn't make it back. Arctic able to take down Rob, keeps 1 stock for himself. Dig deep, buddy.
Yeah.
Because this is looking very, very difficult. to come back at this point. But
yeah,
your whole team's behind you and your whole playoff run's behind you. So does Cleveland State and Arctic have what it takes?
Can the miracle happen?
Can the miracle happen?
Are we on 34th Street right now?
Kaboom!
Kaboom.
Do it for Kaboom.
Do it for Kaboom. Do it like Kaboom.
Do it like Kaboom. But, yeah, I'm not sure. You know, this is a really tough position to be in. And with all the Smash crew battles that I've seen, I don't know if I've ever seen a 6-1 comeback.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where the comeback is just usually it just does not happen.
So we've got Anthony isn't cool coming in on Cloud. First time in the series.
Yeah.
So we get a look at his Cloud. Anthony, one of the highest ranked players in Michigan right now. So
yeah, currently number one.
Number one.
The best in Michigan.
The best in Michigan.
The best team in the Midwest right now.
That's right. Best college team in the Midwest and the best player in Michigan who plays the game, which is a really interesting way to share that statistic with those who don't follow Smash. Is a lot of the times people think I'm talking about Michigan collegiate players.
No.
And what I'm talking about is people who live in Michigan who play the game.
Yeah.
Number one. That's a pretty incredible stat line. So.
Oh, Tony missed out on getting the JV 4 stock there. Wanted to get what is arguably one of the hardest things to do. It is really hard to take a stock without taking a percent. But when you have 3 stocks and you don't get hit once, that is one of the craziest things ever. And that up smash, like a hole-in-one, scoops him out and sends Arctic up into the blast zone. And now Cleveland State's run comes to an end.
A strong team. Strong team. Hats
honestly,
off to Cleveland State.
It's weird being in that position, right? Sometimes from where we came, like where we started, right? Where Oakland was always like a team kind of like Cleveland State when we first started. It's like, wow, there are some teams that are just so good that we had to go up against them round one. It's just, you know that your back is up against the wall and you're up against a Goliath of a competition. So to be finally at that point for our team where the roles are reversed, where we are the Goliath that is just gatekeeping a school out of their playoff run, that we are that daunting opponent now.
And the narrative is certainly there. We built it up over the last few years, making national championships last year and pushing on We're ranked 5th in the country last year in Smash Brothers. So even for Cleveland State to come in and get to the spot where they're playing us, even though the performance didn't look great, they are a talented team, and that is a good performance just to get to the spot. This is top 16 in the country in NACE. So hats off to Cleveland State for making it this far. Oakland does push on, so now we're in the top 8.
Yep.
That qualifies us for the Super Conference in NACE. Now that's something that we might opt into. Historically, we've opted out so that we could play Division I schools. And we'll probably continue to do that, but it's a conversation that we can have headed into the spring, and another option, which is great. So we look into next week, and what it looked like on the schedule to me was the winner, which would most likely be Akron, in that matchup. Now, Akron's a school that have a history with in Smash Brothers. We've played them quite a bit because they're in the Midwest, so we bump into them quite a bit. Historically, we're a better team, but they're close. Yeah. They're right there. They've taken us to Game 3 last stock in the past.
Numerous times.
So, I mean, it's a matchup that I'm excited to see. But we need to get serious to win that. So
should be good, and that matchup will take place next Thursday, unless there is something that, like the Cleveland State match, we had to bump it up to today instead of Thursday. Cleveland State's traveling to some event, so the team was not going to be able to make it on game day, the intended game day rather. So we'll see. Smash A will be back next Thursday for round 2, the top 8 of the NACE playoffs. And later on tonight, we'll be streaming the League of Legends playoff match.
That's right. League of Legends plays St. Clair College out of Canada. They're actually about 45 minutes from here, so very close.
We should have just told them, show up to us.
That's right.
Let's play in person.
They have to cross the border and deal with all of that.
Yeah.
We're going to stay here and be comfy, and we'll play them from our facility. But, St. Clair, a very talented roster in the League of Legends, and they're ranked 4th in the country for seeding in NACE.
One of the best programs there is.
So they're a very strong team. So we're looking to have that reverse David versus Goliath matchup where we are a strong League of Legends team, but they are seeded to beat us, and so we have to take them down. That match is later tonight at 8 p.m. So if you're interested in League of Legends or if you just want to support the program, feel free to come back and support us and watch that match. It'll definitely be a good one. So thank you for tuning into this. We're going to go to a quick break, maybe about a half an hour, and then we're going to set up for that League of Legends match later tonight.
Yep. Stay tuned, guys.
Power through the tournament with the high-quality protein milk provides to stay energized and focused throughout the game. Oakland University Credit Union is here to help you power up your financial game. Whether you're aiming to upgrade your gear or conquer your savings goals, OUCU has the tools you need. With awesome savings accounts, cashback reward credit cards, and an easy-to-use app, we're here to help you win both on and off the screen. Not a member? Not a problem. Visit us on campus or online at oucreditunion.org. Oakland University Credit Union, because leveling up shouldn't stop your gaming. Proud sponsor of Oakland University Athletics, federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back. Before we sign off for the next little bit and get ready for League, we've got Smash Captain Rob here for a player interview. So tell us about that match against Cleveland State. This is a new program to NACE, and in their inaugural season, they make it to playoffs. How were you guys worried about the match, or what was your idea going into it?
They have a lot of very good players. Like Ruby and Colonies are people we've definitely heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
So we were, respectfully, maybe not concerned, but just prepared. I say we went in very
confident,
very, very confident, but also we have the knowledge of what they can do. So we were ready. We had our counters prepared, and I think it just went about as we planned it to.
Okay. In terms of just game one, Trisket really popped off really hard.
Yeah.
Really, I think went above and beyond kind of like how people were kind of expecting the match to go, especially in that his matchup versus
Colonies.
Colin, it was just like, okay, you got a lot of just crazy early kills there, and it's insane to think about.
Yeah, the first 2 stacks of that game was really fun to watch, actually.
Yeah.
Colonies had to take a second and be like, okay, what am I getting hit by even? Because Tristan was pulling out all the tricks.
One of the things that I brought up was that I think for a team like Cleveland, when brackets finally release, they go, oh my God, we got to fight Oakland. It's really interesting that finally it feels like Oakland is one of those teams where everybody's like, we have to play them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's over. But I think that speaks to how good like you and the rest of the team have drastically improved over the last just year, just let alone the year, but the whole like length and longevity of this program that we've had. You guys have come in from what felt like not like star players, but you guys have become star level at that point, which I think is cool.
Very cool, very cool.
Now,
I love being in the position we're in.
Right.
You know,
it's awesome to have, especially when we're riding the high of like we had a pretty solid Riptide performance, and then we had a dominating showcase for the CECC qualifier, and then the CEC regional, and so we're just sitting pretty as like we are truly like a top. We're currently top four seed in the nation. And the next gauntlet is just this NACE playoffs. We're looking to next week where it's likely Akron. Without spoiling too much, are you guys worried about potentially for Akron next week?
Worried? I wouldn't quite say worried.
Because that's the Cytonic school, right?
Yes.
Ryu. No, Ryu. Ken.
Yeah.
That guy's pretty good.
Cytonic's very good. Actually beat Anthony at the recent tournament.
No way.
Last weekend.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
So I mean, they are very good.
Tony's got to practice up.
They're very good. We know they are. We're ready for that, and we're gonna come prepared as we always do. You know, we're gonna show up, do what we can.
Well, I know we're gonna get ready for league here. League starts in about 20 minutes. And you have to go get prepped for the Smash B team match, which starts in 30 minutes as well.
Yeah.
So then we'll cut the interview there, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Smash match. We'll be back in about 20 minutes with League of Legends. Rob, thank you for the player interview.
Of course.
And thank you for watching. We'll be back in a little bit. Stay tuned.